Yeah, Blue Summer, one day I was singing it in a Trader Joe's and the person putting away stuff was like, "What are you singing?" And I was like, "This song I'm working on." And then he ended up finding me online like that same day because he was like really into that snippet I had sung. But Blue Summer is about a perfect summer day which is tinged with sadness.
Fast forward, I won't see you again. I hold on, I loved you to set me free. I tremble,
Hi, I'm Mount Fogg and I'm a musician living in Seattle.
Tonight on Band in Seattle, with her self-described forest folktronica, Mount Fogg sings about space, to ancient books, to the vast wilderness, and beyond. Welcome to Band in Seattle.
And I wonder I'd like to be a kitten in a basket. I'd like to be an unpolluted sunset. I'd like to be the sounds of falling rain. But in reality, I'm an existential person in pain. I'm a one-piece puzzle. There's no pieces to lose. There's no solving to do. There's no solving. I'm a one-piece puzzle. There's no pieces to find. And there's no pieces. No pieces ever fit into mine.
I like to describe my music as forest folktronica. Forest because that's where you might hear it. Folktronica because I take elements of electronica music and elements of folk music and kind of mash them together. So that's how I would describe it.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard. But in reality, I'm a 30-something giant too hard. I wonder, no pieces to find, no pieces to lose. No pieces to find.
One Piece Puzzle is the oldest song I'm performing tonight, and one of the only songs that I wrote based on lyrics that I wrote out while I was on a plane ride. And it's the only song that's really about me. One of the lines is, "I wish I was Captain Jean-Luc Picard." So it's about all the things I wish I was. It was inspired by thinking about calendars you might get at the supermarket. So one of the lyrics is, "I wish I was a kitten in a basket. I wish I was an unpolluted sunset." So yeah, that song's really fun. I usually start my sets off with that one.
No pieces to find.
long childhood of playing violin and doing classical music my whole life, basically. And then I kind of broke up with the violin for a while, and I started getting into singing. I sang a lot of Balkan music, and then I started dabbling with electronic music making as a hobby, just as something to do at night. I just kind of got more and more into it, and then a couple of years ago, I had a lot of time on my hands and decided to start Mount Fog.
Is it okay if I just look the other way? I am like a stone alone in the universe, and I suspect to feel okay.
The Universe is a Place is from my album Guide to the Unusual, and it's about when things are really tough, you just have to remember we're essentially rocks floating in outer space. Even though you can see some really messed up stuff happen, and even though you might want to fix things, ultimately, you know what? I'm just a rock floating in outer space. I use that fact to feel okay is a line in the song.
Though I'm like a stone, things are wrong, things can fall, silence can feel wrong. Though I'm like a stone, I soar like a stone. Tell me why? Because I am like a stone alone in the universe, and I feel okay. I feel okay.
After the break, discover more about Mount Fog.
There's a sun setting on your dish, and it's a beautiful sunset. I got things to do, gotta go build something to last me, but I'm not sure what that is. I'll make a vow of silence. I'll make a vow of silence. Walking slowly with you in the woods. I'll throw my words to you. I'll make a code of silence in the snow. I'll throw my words to you.
Vow of Silence is from my forthcoming album, Spells of Silence. So a lot of the album is about what more do we have to say? You know, everything has been said. What do I have to say? Who am I to say anything? And Vow of Silence is about walking around in the woods and just realizing that you can kind of keep it all inside and you don't have anything else to add. You have all the words you want to say already said, and that's kind of sad, but it's also somehow comforting.
I'll make a vow of silence. I'll make a vow of silence.
lot of what I'm doing with music. It's just a source of joy for me that hasn't been super conscious in terms of, oh, I'm building this image. It's more like, who am I at my core of my being, and kind of like chipping away at all the layers of artificiality that society foists upon us, and using music as like a mode of discovery. That's really just what I've been trying to do, is just throw away all the unnecessary stuff and be like, who am I deep down? I feel like music, that's one of the coolest things about it. You can just be totally yourself. The album I released last year, Guide to the Unusual, a lot of the songs on that came about because I was going on a lot of walks, and I was singing to myself, and I would, come across something and I would start singing about it, and then I would go home and, eventually like make a song around it. But a lot of times the songs I write, it's just me hanging out with my synth, and I'll do a little thing and I'm like, and then I just kind of let that guide me. Yeah, I have a very intuitive process.
So you're sad. My notes say keep a journal, but I'm sad, I'm so sad. Keep it all inside. Keep it all inside. Keep it all inside. No one knows you're happy. No one knows you're good.
I Am the Sea, You Are the Clouds is the first song I wrote on my next album, Spells of Silence. It's about this idea when you're in epic landscapes of being able to project yourself onto them, feel less pain because the natural world is so much bigger than you. Part of that is, again, keeping your emotions inside and not necessarily sharing everything, but getting lost in these landscapes as a way to feel okay.
So don't seek perfection. It's a lying beast that makes you dead inside. We are the clouds, and don't try to change us. The reach around my life, I'm falling in the sea. So keep it all inside, and keep it all inside, and keep it all inside. Keep it all inside. No one knows you're happy. No one knows you cry. No one knows you're happy. No one knows you're sad. Keep it all inside. Keep it all inside. No one knows you're happy. No one knows you're sad.
When we return, find out more about Mount Fog.
I'm waiting through these years. I'm waiting through these years.
Wading Through These Years is about being an ancient book that gains consciousness and is watching the world happen around her. It was like, wow, you guys could have tried harder. Well, one of the lyrics is, I wouldn't say I'm alive, I wouldn't say I'm dead. I've got an animation in my core, in my spine. So the book's not really, alive in the sense it's gonna get up and walk away, but it's thinking. So it's not a lot of time.
That's the sound of passing time. I feel a finger in my left page where there wasn't one before. Dust falls and I feel it joyfully in my spine. Dust accumulates and then I emerge. I wouldn't say I'm alive, but I wouldn't say I'm dead. I've got an animation in my core, in my spine. I'm waiting through these years, and I saw it with my own eyes. You could have done a better job. You could have saved all the species, saved the trees and saved the planet, but instead you got a job. I'm not surprised, not at all. You could have tried a little harder.
I definitely use music as a form of therapy, and so it's kind of a survival mechanism, and it's become just such a thing I do every day that now I can't really imagine not doing music as much as I'm doing it. And then I think the second part is just realizing, your time on earth is pretty short, trying to make something that's bigger than yourself, whether that's possible or not. Well, I just think there's so much drive to just sit and consume and just be a good little consumer. And so it's just when you're doing something that's kind of weird and vulnerable, it can feel like a lot. And these are happy tears. Yeah, it's definitely very emotional for me. That's where it comes from. It's just now at this point, it's people who are into running, and once they get really into running, I've tried to get into running. I wish I was a runner, but I'm not. But it's people who are into exercise, they have to do it every day. It's kind of how I feel about music now. I really, really like performing, and so it's just I was trying to take it to the next level, and I was trying to create something, not better, because I think that's not really the right word, but something getting closer to the vision I have.
There's a story that when you move closer, it won't be there anymore. Silent, sneaky little door. But when I finally move closer, it's still there. I won't wonder anymore. I won't wonder anymore. Behind the silent door will vanish. With the key, with the key.
Behind a silent door, I feel like a lot of my songs are about the tension between darkness and lightness and happiness and sadness. And it's really about the portal between hiding / feeling like the world is trying to make you disappear and being like, you know what? I'm fine being behind the silent door. Take the key. I'll run away from you and I'll have a great time over here. So it's about sort of partying at the edge of your own existence.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? So silent. Can you? Behind the silent door will vanish. With the key, with the key. Behind the silent
watching. To uncover more about our bands, go to bandinseattle.com.